Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at Google Web Designer. Some exciting stuff. Obviously we know that Google Poly is coming to its end, but fear not, the capabilities we had in Google Poly are now available in Google Web Designer. So we're going to now look at the updated 3D model viewer component. So within the latest version of Google Web Designer, obviously make sure you've done an update for it. And on the right hand side, under properties and components, you'll have within the graphic and effects folder, there's now the model viewer component. Important to note, it is different to the swirl component, of course. All right, so we want to now add an object. So traditionally we would have imported the URL from Google Poly. But we no longer need to do that because we can now do that. We can now import an image, a 3D object directly into our project. So in properties on the right hand side, under source, I'm going to select an object, a GLB, and there we go. So it's imported instantly. Right. So traditionally, if I wanted to edit this, so say the background color, if I wanted to add hotspots, if I wanted to change the camera view from fixed, all those types of things, even the lighting around the original 3D object, I would have had to have gone into Google Poly to do that. However, that is not the case. So now I can do that in Google Web Designer. So how do I do that? Well, a bit like the parallax and the other components, it's this little pen in the bottom right hand corner of each of the components. You would double tap it. It opens up into its own component view. I'm going to just zoom in the bottom right corner. You've got the controls for zooming in and out. Just going to zoom in there. Gets a bit blurry, but there you go. So there's our 3D model. We can still rotate it and move it around. We can still zoom in. So on the right hand side, we've got basically kind of similar information we had when we were in Google Poly. So we've got the GLB information, so I can make some alterations to it. Very basic, because this is an extremely basic model, so I don't have anything set up for the normal maps and the occlusions. I don't have any of that stuff set up. But if I did, then I could obviously come and make the modification. It would probably make sense if I had, let's say, a car in here, which we'll look at a bit later. If I had a car in here, then I might have access to all those maps that I could remap onto this. But in the case of this, I'm just going to modify the color slightly. Let's make it a lovely red. Now, that's as much as I'm going to do. I might change around with the metallic effect and increase the roughness. Actually, let's decrease the rough. Oh no. Let's keep it a nice. So 20%, yeah, 40%. That'll do. And I'll increase the metallic. Brilliant. So the bit we want now is actually under components. Now this section did exist in Google Poly, but it's now obviously available in Google Web Designer. So on the right hand side, under components, we've still got the sort of lighting setup, we've got the camera setup, and then we've got the hotspot setup. So just on the lighting again, I'm not really going to worry about this. I can change the exposure, but it's not something I need to deal with because my model doesn't have any complicated elements built into it. However, if I did have animations, you could do you can tick this button here for autoplay on the animation, and obviously you can select animations. So if you're importing something that has animations in it, you could obviously select different animations for when you want to play them. Onto the camera stuff, currently the camera is set up, well, the camera options are set up exactly the same way as they were in Google Poly. Again, you can obviously add, you can use the current setup, or you can obviously do more, or you can reset it. I'm going to just I'm going to fix the camera distance. I just didn't like it when it zoomed out too far. It just gets too small and a bit silly, doesn't it? So anyway, I'm going to keep that on the fixed camera distance, and then I'm going to move over to hotspot, which is the third option under components. So we had all these options within Google Poly. So if you have used Google Poly and the hotspots, it's all very similar. So I'm still going to run through it, but if you've done it, skip over this bit and go to the next one. So you've got options here for 3 images you can add in. So I'm just going to add in some quick images. Let me just find those quickly. This might take a moment. So I'm going to add a grey for up. Let's add a green for down. And we'll add a red for over. Great, so there you are. So those are just for the hotspots. Now these images will stay within the hotspot sort of boundary box, which is like a little circle, if you remember. It will stay within that space, it won't go outside that. Then you've got the info card, so that's like the background, the color of the text. Then you've got the background of that box, and then the border of that box. I'm not going to fiddle with it right now, but we'll do that in a moment. So we'll add a quick hotspot. So to add a hotspot, very similar to the way we did it in Google Poly, you tap hotspot. It there says click on the 3D model to add a hotspot. So I'm going to tap on it. Now it's added the hotspot. Now I think this is because my model's a bit odd, but the hotspot is there, but you can see there's a sort of slight distance issue, like it can't seem to grab hold of the model in the right way. So I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to try it again. Add, tap slap bang there. There you go. And also you can see straight away our images are being used as well, which is great. So I'll carry on. Info card. I'll just call this front. And then info card, words go here. Right. Tap on it. Front, words go here. Perfect. Zoom in. All works. Still there. And then I can hit, I'll just go and change the background of the box. I'll make it red as well. I'll keep it at 50%. Go and try again. There you are, nice little red. Actually, let's keep that, and we'll change the border color to white. White as I can get it. There we go, perfect. Sort of Red Baron-like, isn't it? For those who have read the old Star Wars comics. Anyway, hit save on that. And there we go. Oh, right, obviously it's red, but it's on a white background. Let's just change that now quickly. Wait for it to load. Perfect, there you go. And let's quickly preview it. And there we go. Absolutely fantastic. The fact now that we can do this within Google Web Designer is just amazing. Obviously sad about Google Poly, but obviously we're now no longer limited by that. We can do all of it within Google Web Designer. I don't know about you, but I think it definitely opens up a bit more of an interesting future for Google Web Designer, and this is also paving the way for the AR side of things. So on that, let's quickly look at some other things. So, oh, actually, I can't. In traditional Blue Peter style, here's one I made earlier. I went and did this bit earlier, so I've added a few more hotspots. I've added a bit more information. I did find that if you add too much information, you know, obviously the copy just does fill up a bit too much of the space. I suspect within the code view, within Google Web Designer, you can modify the size of the text, so you can change the point size on this and change the curvature of the box and stuff. So I doubt that will be anything too much of an issue to change. Anyway, I just wanted to quickly show you that. Right, so let's go back to Google Web Designer. So what's really cool, which I thought was rather nice, is that under the template section, they've kind of updated their template setup. If you guys have seen it already, then apologies. It seems new to me. What's quite nice is they've got this filter control down the left-hand side, so you can do it by platform. And obviously you can do it by ad type, which you could do normally, and then obviously desktop, mobile and tablets, and then any types of features, which are really cool. However, what I thought was really cool is that obviously we've seen these swirl ones from a while back, right? I'm sure you remember when we were talking about the swirl ad right at the beginning, the sort of middle of last year. We obviously had this watch one where you had all these hotspots on it, which I thought was really cool, and obviously that's what inspired me to do the videos. However, what I think is really great, and part of the whole sort of AR thing moving forward, and the fact that you can now make obviously edits to your vehicle or your object within Google Web Designer, is that they've got this little template for doing a vehicle. So if obviously you've got this shoe one here, I've seen that a few times, but the vehicle one's brand new for me. So I think this is going to be a rather cool one. So I'm just going to quickly have a go at it, and traditional Blue Peter style, I've already opened it. So I'll just go over here. I'll just zoom in. So we've got some areas within the ad itself. So we've got a normal traditional sort of call to action, CTA to exit, and obviously go and do something. So in this case, drive on. So If you were doing an ad yourself about a vehicle, then obviously this could be take a test drive. That would be the obvious one, right? Or could it be place it in your driveway? We need to talk about call to actions at some point, right? Then obviously we've got the color dipper, so the change the vehicle colors, and then obviously we've got the component itself. So let's dive into the swirl component and have a quick look. So it's got a lot of default setup on it. Let's have a look. So we've got the indicator to swipe to rotate. Got beginning end. We haven't got any sort of. All right. So if I scroll, I can still do the normal rotation, and then I get into the object. I can swirl it around. Okay, but that's it. That's all I can do here. I can't do anything else, which is a bit of a frustration. Okay, so let's close that. Oh, sorry, I went back too far. Let's go back to it again. So the 3D model on the right hand side. Okay, so under 3D model, so we can see URL car GLB. So I'm going to click the little edit on the right hand side of the vehicle. So not on the vehicle, sorry. In the properties panel on the right hand side under URL, there's the car GLB. I'm just going to click the little pen to edit it. And it opens up in the model viewer component, which we've already looked at. And then within components, under hotspots, we've got no hotspots. Interesting. So within this setup, they haven't done any of that. And that's because I'm actually looking at an expand ad. So I'm going to have to save and close this. Now, if I go and run this, actually, if I jump onto the second page. Okay, no, it's not there. Okay, let's just run this first. Okay, so I can change the vehicle colors there. Interesting, I wonder how that's happening. I can do an expand. Yeah, it allows me to change the colors of the vehicle there. I can rotate it. But why couldn't I access that feature? Interesting. Okay, let's go and have a quick look in the code view. Okay, let's get down into the components. Okay, so we've got the color control here, functionality. And then it's going into the model viewer, I think. It is actually, I could be wrong, but I think that is actually changing the color. That would seem to indicate that it is, because you've got three values of, oh, actually that's not color, maybe that's, hang on, that might not actually be color. Oh, black, 000, off yellow, no, that could actually be the color, yeah. Blue. So that's how that's working. Again, let me come out of this view, go back to design. Sorry, I haven't actually really looked into this properly. I thought this was going to be a lot quicker. So let's look at the color chips, as they call them. Black, yeah, okay. Let's go back. Yep. Events. Okay, here are our events. Let's just check these. So we've got the color. Okay, let's have a look at the yellow event. So the yellow event, let's click on the clicks. It goes click. Set material color. Oh, wow. So you go to the 3D model view. So in the event control, you select material color. Okay, hey, spelled the English way. British English with a U in it. Then you target the 3D model. And then you configure. Yeah, look, red, green, blue. Doing a standard RGB value. Wow, that's cool. All right, well that's something I'm going to have a go at some point. I mean, okay, let's... Okay, what colour did I select? I selected yellow, didn't I? Okay, let's just quickly change this. Let's make that... I don't know what this is going to do. I'm just guessing, really. Let's make it... Oh, it doesn't like that value. Ah, right, so it's a value... Okay, maximum of 1. Okay, okay. Let's save that. Let's run that again. Okay, if I scroll, hit yellow. Oh, it's kind of a darker yellow. Okay, that's really kind of cool. I wonder if that's the only place you can make those changes in the events. Maybe it is. I mean, obviously you can do it within the code view. We've also got, looking over here, we've got 2 model views. Well, 2 model viewers, I guess. Yeah, hang on. So that's that one. That's the swirl. Background. Color chips. Expand. Component. Yep. So, don't know. Should be interesting. I'm just gonna have to keep playing around with it. But look, I mean, this is what I wanted to do, right? I mean, I've done the other option. So I played around with the hotspots, and obviously I've had to go with this car configurator, but I don't know enough about 3D development to do that. However, how you make changes to the color chips is really cool. Okay, well that's it for now. I just wanted to do this as a really quick video just about the obviously the new feature of the model viewer that's now available within Google Web Designer, and obviously the exciting opportunities it brings for the future of AR. Alright, thanks guys.